This is the accumulator of an anti-aircraft missile. It was gifted to me during the war. To this day, I keep it like a holy relic. It was 1992. As usual, bombs rained down from the sky on the village of Telderan in Artsakh. Alvard Gasparyan, a physician and anesthesiologist from Yerevan, was about to perform her first surgery in a field hospital. That very day, the Artsakh native was to experience her biggest shock. 15 minutes after I reported to duty, they brought in the bodies of freedom fighters killed during those early battles. As we started to pull open the zippers of the French-made body bags in order to identify the bodies and send them to Yerevan in a helicopter, I had once recognized the first victim. It was none other than my classmate, Vanik Petrosyan. On hearing of the Azeri occupation of Martagerd, her birthplace, Alvard had left her young daughter with family members, written a farewell note to her husband, sold her jewelry, and went to Artsakh aboard a bus, taking with her quantities of flour and oil. When my darling aunt greeted me in Artsakh, she said, "We want to get out of this place. Why did you come here?" And I just told her, I mustered all my strength to do this. It's the biggest step I've ever taken. Doctors often gave their own blood to save the lives of soldiers who selflessly defended their homeland, Dr. Gasparyan recalls. In the span of 28 days, we performed close to 400 surgeries, major and minor alike. My blood type is B positive. My colleague, Karen Porosov, had the same blood type. We had no means of obtaining blood from elsewhere. We had a great nurse, Stella, who determined the blood types of wounded soldiers on the spot. And if they matched ours, she went ahead and drew blood from Karen or me to save the lives of those freedom fighters. To Alvard and her comrades, the biggest loss on the battlefield was the death of Bekor Ashot. Despite trying the impossible, they were unable to save the hero's life. You can't imagine the heart-wrenching reaction of the young soldiers when we told them Bekor was gone. They were squirming, twisting, and howling in sheer agony. Apart from such painful memories, the war has left Alvard with a number of serious injuries. She was disabled after being hit by numerous pieces of shrapnel. It was a miracle that she survived the explosion. There was this dog that ran to a wounded soldier who was recuperating after we had resuscitated him. As we saw this, all three of us doctors mechanically headed towards the soldier. Imagine, at that very instant, a bomb fell on the exact spot where we had been standing. So our lives were saved thanks to that dog and the wounded soldier. A few years ago, the freedom-fighting doctor was diagnosed with a blood cancer. Alvard has been fighting the disease with the same fierce spirit that drew her to the battlefield when she was 28. The worst years of my disease are behind me. Although life expectancy is pretty bleak, I'm still around, thank God. First Lieutenant Alvard Gasparyan lives in Echmiadzin, near the Mother Church. She uses a walking cane. Often she's bedridden. Standing by her are her son and her daughter's family, as well as other relatives and friends. They help her in any way they can. She also receives monthly financial assistance from the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund. The Hayastan All-Armenian Fund is the only reputable organization through which donations are sure to reach their intended purpose. Had the fund not existed, the Gori-Stepanakert and Vartanis-Martagerd highways would not have been built. There would never be so much school construction. So many wonderful projects have been made possible by the fund. The frail widow derives strength and optimism from her son, Tigran. Alvard thrives on her son's successes. These are my sons. They're different medals, from a student competition in target shooting, for participating in the Baze youth gathering, and a gold medal in volleyball. Alvard's son was born a year after the ceasefire. Despite her health issues and doctors' advice against getting pregnant, she gave birth to her hero 20 years ago. I dreamed of having a son who would grow up to become a hero, like the ones I've seen in Artsakh. I hope it won't be immodest of me to say that at 20, my son has already surpassed my expectations. Tigran is a student at the Armenian State University of Economics. He has also applied to join the army after graduation. Army recruitment officers were surprised when Tigran volunteered. By law, as his mother's only immediate caretaker, he should be exempt from serving in the army.